What's up, everybody? Stephen A. Williams here with another video. Make sure you check me out on YouTube, Make Money with Stephen A. Williams, and my Let's Level Up Your Business Friday Challenge. But we're not talking about that right now. I'm giving you content. I did a coaching call with one of my students, and what I was getting into is the mindset, because I was like, if I'm gonna be coaching people, number one, it is very hard for someone to transition from a 9-to-5 job to being 100%, where they have to take on everything for themselves. That's a transition. And part of the transition is just, finances and doing the things that you got to do, the work, that type of stuff. But another part of the transition that a lot of people seem to skip over is the mental side. Like, there is going to be a mental fight within yourself. And if you do not know how to overcome that, you're going to struggle. That's why I see people, like, they start a business and it's like 5-6 years later, they're still working their other job, and they in that business turns into a side hustle. Not to say there's nothing wrong with having that side business, but if you're serious about making a business, like, I'm not talking about where you have just, income and you're barely getting by. I'm talking about income that makes a difference. I'm talking about generational wealth. I'm talking about where you can have the things that you probably didn't even think that you would be able to have. Like, this is the type of experience that I want for people who come into contact with me. I want to inspire them, and I tell them how to do that from the way that I did it. Like, one among other benefits of working with me is that, and it's not just about me, with any coach that you go to, if that coach has actually done what you're trying to do, it doesn't have to be the particular business, but what I'm talking about is if you're trying to transition from 9-to-5 to having a business on your own, to where that business grew to a substantial amount. Maybe you want to have employees, maybe you don't, whatever that is, but you got to get with someone who has done it, because if you don't, you're going to get the technical side, which is you could go and get books. We see this in college and all of that. There's a technical side, and then there's a mental side. And that is why we see most people fail, is because they're not strong on the inside. And maybe it's because most colleges don't explain this, but I do have a friend who went to the Wharton Business School, which is a very expensive, prestigious college. And they do teach the mindset, because they know that it's not just about book knowledge. It's not about just showing someone how to do something. There is something right here that if you don't take care of this, you're going to find yourself having this back and forth where you're just like, I'm just not getting anywhere. Why am I not getting anywhere? Well, I'm about to explain it to you. I've made this short. When I speak with my coaching clients, it's a lot more detailed, but this here will help you get on your way. So here we go here. Almost everybody, and I've done this before, but I like to repeat it because repetition is recognition. One of my older employees, he's long passed away, but Elon Moore used to say, repetition brings recognition. That's what he used to say when he would go out to sell our business clients. So here we go here. We have, or this is you right here with a smile on your face. You're ready to get this stuff going. You have a big idea. Whatever that big idea is, it does not matter for this example here, for this demonstration. It doesn't matter. But you have a big idea. That big idea is you have a goal, you have a desire. It could be on the personal level, it could be on the financial level, whatever it is. This is what your eyes is focused on right there. Like you're looking at that. That's what you want. That's what you want. You get hyped up, all of this type of stuff happens. You're focused on that goal. But then you start to have this issue where as you see what needs to be done to achieve that goal, you start to have these feelings. You start to have these feelings, and they go right here. So you see here, but when you're trying to do the stuff, you have these feelings because you know that all of this stuff here either needs to be done, and some of this stuff is not even something that you can say. It's like an expression of your body, like your body does things. It could be procrastination. It could be too many thoughts on what you could lose to be able to go for that goal. It could be people in your family. It could be all types of stuff. You could probably write down some things that you would feel right there. This is exactly how you can overcome that, and this is how I was able to overcome it. Is that you have your goal, but you need to go back and you need to work on your doubts, your fears, anxiety, whatever that long. There's some I put some lines here so you can write some of the things that you feel there. This takes some deep thought also, like doubts about what? Fears about what? Anxiety about what? Write those things down. Be clear. Write it out so you can get to know yourself. One of the best things that I had did when I was younger, and this actually when I did this exercise, a hypnotist taught me about this, because he was like, you need to work on your, he wasn't talking directly to me on his tapes back. We're talking about the 1980s. It was a cassette tapes. He was like, you got to work on this before you go forward. And I was like, why can't I just go work on the thing I want to go forward on? He was like, the reason why you can't go work on the thing you want to go forward on is because you have all of this stuff on the inside of you. It's like a doctor saying, hey, you want to look like that, but you got to do this stuff on the inside to look like that. Or you want to get rid of that problem. The problem is not hanging on the outside. It's not a word that's like right there walking with you. It's on the inside of you. So he was like, you got to fix on the inside. You fix on the inside, you'll be able to change the stuff on the outside. And I was like, that, okay, I was young. I was 15 years old. I didn't even question it. I listened to the tape every night. Parents thought I was nuts, but I listened to that tape every night. Tape just broke one day. It just broke. But I listened to it every night. And one of the things that happened, which I will talk about with other people in a moment, but something happened where almost all of my friends just disappeared. I was talking to my wife the other day, and I had told her, I said, my friends, when I did this, it was like they just disappeared. She was like, what do you mean they disappeared? They just ran off. I was like, it was like they literally disappeared. I'm going to show you why people might disappear when you do this. Like, I'm not saying like they'll evaporate or something. I'm just saying they might disappear. Now, so you work on this. You got to be specific. Write down what's going on, because what that's going to do, it's going to change the feelings that you have here. Because see, the thing that you got to get over, like this is very important. You're not going to do anything that you don't feel like. You're not going to go to work on time unless you feel like it. You're not going to wake up on time in the morning unless you feel like it. You're not going to work on your business and do the things you got to do unless you feel like it. So wouldn't it be getting the feelings fixed? Wouldn't that make potentially this stuff work out a little bit better, get you in a better position? And you know this, if you won't do things unless you feel like it, wouldn't it be good to fix on the feelings? And then you would, number one, continue still focusing on that goal, but you would have a different level of feeling when you're going after those goals, because you're going to need that. You're going to need that. Now, when you do that, this is something that happens, is you become a new person. Like one of the things that happened to me when I became successful is first my wife and I, you're crazy. Why don't you work a regular job? Go get a regular job. Then, oh, you're still doing that thing that you're doing. And then all of a sudden, when we started having some success, was quiet, like it was crickets. People, you could tell people just watched. And then once we had the major success, our first major success, y'all are smart. We knew you could do it. That's because they don't know this, but you're doing this. This is what we did, is that you become a new person, and that new person attached that goal and that desire in a different way because they don't have the problems with that feeling. With that feeling that they have in here, that feeling that they don't have those same doubts and fears and anxiety and all these other things. They don't have those problems anymore, or they're minimized. I won't say that they go away fully, but they're minimized. It allows you to be able to say, I'm going to give it my all. Let me tell you a quick thing that happened to me. When my wife and I started our publication in 1990, we were the age of 20, and we had got a nice size contract that was going to pay us $2,000 a week to pass out these flyers around neighborhoods for this grocery store. They were like the biggest grocery store in that neighborhood in Racine, Wisconsin. $2,000 a week. I'm 20 years old. $2,000 a week. That's $8,000 a month. And that's not counting what we had built up with our publication business. Like, we're talking about, we hit it. We hit the jackpot. And I quit my third shift security guard job, and we were like, we're on our way. We're gonna do this. 2 weeks later, we did the contract, 2 weeks, and then they canceled the contract. I went for a job at the local mall, sat down, and the person, this is the truth, he said, I'm going to hire you. We don't normally do this. I'm going to hire you to be a security guard at this mall. I don't normally do this. I don't know if he was telling the truth or not, but let me tell you what I said. I said, sir, I'm very sorry for wasting your time. I had started a business, and we had something that happened where we lost a contract, and that I apologize. I'm going to go, and I'm going to do my business 1,000%. I'm not going to take the job. And then my wife, she was waiting in the car with our kids. And she said, with our 2 kids at that time, she said, what happened? And I said, I didn't take the job. He gave it to me. I didn't take it. We're going to do 1,000% on our business. I haven't worked for anyone since 1990. I'm making this video in 2023. I haven't worked for anyone. But what I did from that, when I was 15 years old, it was like that stuff came to me. Like, you never know when this stuff, when you need it. You never know. It's like you have that briefcase, or you have it in your back pocket, and you just never know when you are gonna be able to utilize that information. And that came to me, plus I was ready. And I just didn't have that fear. I didn't have those anxieties. I just said, I'm going to do it. I looked at my goal in a totally different way. And I didn't even have the money. I just looked at it in a totally different way. That little decision, that thin line of I could have went to that job or not to that job, is millions of dollars of a difference for that one thin line. Millions. And a lifestyle that I didn't even picture myself at that time. For me, and not just me, it's passed down to my next generation, my children, grandchildren. So what the decisions you make can make a huge difference in your life and other people's life. Now let's talk about other people. You got to be very careful when you're telling people what you're going to do. As a matter of fact, don't tell nobody what you're going to do. Text me or message me and tell me what you're going to do. Don't tell your friends and family unless you know for sure that they're of the mindset to be able to support you. And I'm not talking about just saying, hey, yeah, do that. If you've done a business before and it didn't work, your friends and family are going to think of you this way. See, remember I said this is the new you. when you talk about your business, let's make a new line on this one. Let's make a new one for the friends and family. Let's make a new one. So when your friends and family, when your friends and family see you, they, even though you want that goal, oh, got this over here. Even though you have the goal right here, you told them you had a goal, desire, all that stuff. But see, they can't really, they see you as this. They see you as this person. Before you go back and fix this stuff, and even when you go back and you fix this stuff, they see you as this person. Remember what I said? First, they said, go get a regular job. Why don't you go get a regular job? Then, are you still doing that thing that you're doing? The thing was our business that we thought was very important. Then it was the crickets. And then it was, we thought that you were smart. This is what the other people are, this is their path to understanding the new you. This is their path. See, they don't see this. See, some people think that my success that I have, they're like, oh, it was easy for you. They don't know about this work that had to be done right here. They don't know about that. They don't understand it. If you could not even sit down if you start talking about them. It's going to be like you're on this wavelength and you're on this wavelength. That's what they call that vibration. Like you're vibrating. Let me show you something. See, when your success, see, there's these vibration levels. And your awareness is going like this, then it might come down, then it might go up, then it might go down like this. But the other people, see, they're right here. And they're always going to see where you're at before you get there. They're going to, so when you're up here, they'll start seeing you here. When you get up here, they'll start seeing you here. And then eventually they'll see you here. But when they get there, they'll be saying like crazy things like what you know, they'll be like, you was a smart person, all this stuff. You'd be like, man, dang, I went to school and got lower grades than you did. You know, you don't even be knowing what to say back to them. It's because they see you, because you made a change on the inside. It's like they just see you different. And now when I said my friends disappeared, some of the people that you had with those other people, some of them will just disappear. Like some of your friends will not be friends anymore. They will just go away. That's exactly what happened to me. When I started listening to that tape, see, I used to have a big complex on the way I look, all these types of things. I had this as a kid. And when I listened to that tape, it took that stuff away. Like that was something that did happen. Like almost, I would say, I don't know exactly how long, but it did happen. To me, it felt like it was immediate because people started like, I wasn't friends with them anymore. Those people had disappeared so much out of my life, the people that I grew up with, that I ended up just joining the United States Army, mainly because I felt alone. Like I was like, I don't have any friends. Why don't I just go to the military? So I ended up joining the military. And that set on a whole nother path of being able to learn about myself, having more freedom, seeing other people and stuff like that. But for this example, those other people will start to disappear. They won't even be in your life anymore. You might run across them. You might run across them, but it's going to be like they disappeared. Some of you may get it the way that I'm explaining it. If I'm not explaining it good enough, you know, put in the comments. I'll try to explain it more. But I think that once you start on your path, you will see that there's some people that you're going to be dealing with, some people that you're not going to be dealing with, and these are going to be family and friends. Hey, thank you for your time. Please post your questions and comments. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be digging in, making even more videos like this, because it's not just about learning the tools for success, like applications and software, websites, all that stuff. It's also talking about that mental. And I want to also share that with you all the time.